The youngest successful rappers in history of music. How old are you, both of you?
Both 13.
Both 13.
Yeah.
How surprised are you that here you are? I mean, in such a short time.
The worst thing for me is I can't please all my girls, all the girls out there.
I'll help you out. Call me if I help.
In this video, we will talk about the Kris Kross duo, who every kid was crazy for. The guys who set the trend to wear their pants backwards, which Eminem even referenced in the song My Name Is.
Got pissed off and ripped Pamela Lee's tits off and smacked her so hard I knocked her clothes backwards like Kris Kross.
Both of their names were Kris, so naturally the Kris portion of their name made a lot of sense. But where did the Kross come from? According to Chris Smith's mother, it was from a name that Kelly himself earned when he was a few years younger. Per a 1992 Washington Post profile, Smith's parents recalled that Kelly loved applesauce so much that a teacher affectionately called him Krissy Krossy Applesaucy. How did they choose their names? Kelly chose Mac Daddy and Smith was Daddy Mac. It essentially originates from Mac, a term that signified a man that gets a lot of women. Jermaine Dupri, one of the most influential producers, met the two boys at the Greenbrier Mall in Atlanta. He was looking at how random people reacted to the boys. The girls behind the counters were behaving as if they saw them on TV. They were going crazy screaming. He saw two obviously cool boys getting free cookies from the girls who worked there. A curious Dupri approached them, found out that they were only 11 years old, and asked what they were doing to attract such attention from girls in the mall. As Dupri recalled, Daddy Mac said, "We're just cool." Kris Kross represented something Jermaine Dupri had never seen before. You gotta understand people out there, Kris Kross weren't rappers. They weren't kids walking around with demos. They weren't trying to be rappers. They weren't trying to be singers. When I met them, I said, "What do y'all do?" Dupri explains, "We just cool." I was like, damn, get these guys a record fast. Which means Kris Kross weren't eager to make music and didn't even consider it possible. But everything changed after they made the track Jump. The song stayed #1 on the Billboard chart for 8 weeks, and in addition, it was the third best-selling song of 1992 in the United States, with sales of 2,079,000 physical copies in the same year. Next, they released their debut album called Totally Crossed Out, which sold 4 million copies in the US alone.
Have you any idea just how successful you are?
Well, I mean, we try not to think about that kind of stuff.
The duo introduced the trend of wearing pants backwards. They were fanatics of wearing clothes backwards, from t-shirts to jeans and caps. The debut album cover shows the pair with both their jeans and New York sports jerseys on backwards. Their video would also be a poignant example as to why many other people in the 90s began sporting their clothes backwards. They were such a force in the trend that they are almost always cited as the creators of it.
How does that work when, like, you gotta pee? How do you do that?
We just unbuckle our belts because our pants are so big and
drops down.
Yeah.
And it works. Okay, you don't have your shoes on backwards, by the way.
Nah.
That's it. One thing, you're still at school or not?
We have tutors on the road with us.
DJ Smurf, for example, saw a bunch of guys at his college who wore their clothes like that, and it was the undeniable influence from the song Jump, even though many of the Atlanta scene weren't fans of their music, but the guys didn't care. After all, they met Michael Jackson in 1992, and even went on tour with him. When they toured with Michael Jackson, they didn't feel like they were at the same level, even though they were already making millions in sales. They did not realize the full extent and scope of their success. But for them, first of all, it was fun, so there was not much stress.
Basically, while we was out there, we just kicked it, you know, had a little fun, played a little basketball.
Yeah.
Really, that was it. But you know, it was pretty cool. You know, we just talked about a lot of different things.
Sure.
Pertaining to music business and stuff like that.
The guys were covered in fame and glory and won awards one after the other.
First of all, we want to thank God for making all this happen. We just gonna try to make the album better than the first one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In 1993, they released an album called The Bomb, which was successful, but despite trying to make the second album better, it was not as successful as the first release.
I know you hear me coming, so you best to watch your back. When I'm rolling through my hood and I see the one that used to do the dirt that turned good. Little kids trying to be like me.
And in 1996, they put out their third album. Despite some positive reviews, Young, Rich, and Dangerous was Kris Kross's least successful album.
Slacking, back patching up my turf. Cause after me was a factory of worse after worse. 1, 2, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2.
The group separated sometime after their third album and went on to solo careers. Many people believe this is due to the fact that the guys have grown up and their voice became more mature, and the vibe was just not the same. And so Kelly and Smith began writing and producing albums.
You must be tricking, and that's crazy. You better get it right. Tell them what they hear just to get it right.
In 2007, the group reunited and were working on different projects, still working for Jermaine Dupri.
She inspired the heart song, a lady. She displays beauty through and through, a lady.
In 2009, photos appeared that show Chris Kelly with several bald spots. To dispel rumors that he had cancer, Kelly announced that he was suffering from alopecia. In the meantime, Mr. Kelly studied audio engineering, ran a small record label, and owned a daycare business with his mother. During the lean years, Mr. Kelly could get frustrated, said DJ Nabs, the group's DJ and a longtime friend of Mr. Kelly's. People looked like they turned their back on him. Chris Kelly had his own label called Seco Records. Kris Kross reunited for So So Def's 20th anniversary concert in early 2013.
I'm about you. Warm it up, Chris. That's what I was born to do. The man can't make you. I did it back up again.
Investigating the death of Kris Kelly. He's best known as half of the 90s group Kris Kross.
On May 1st, 2013, Kris Kelly died of a drug overdose that included heroin and cocaine at the age of 34.
I had told you though, you know how I party.
Man, I don't want to hear that, man. You know I don't want to hear that, bro.
I know, man. I apologize.
It's all good, bro.
Kelly died at an Atlanta hospital after he was found unresponsive at his home, police said. The Fulton County medical examiner concluded that Kelly's death was an accident caused by the combined toxic effects of heroin, cocaine, ethanol, Xanax, and Vicodin.
With the eagle sign, sit down, time to eat, let's dine.
After paramedics took him to the hospital, a woman who identified herself as Kelly's friend told an investigator that Kelly had taken a mixture of heroin and cocaine the night before, and that she had brought Kelly home to recover from his drug use, according to a police report. Chris Smith told how he felt when he found out about the death of his close friend. "You just kind of freeze. For me to just look back and think about it, I just froze. I probably froze and the whole world just kind of went silent. I really don't remember anything too much from that moment that I first got the news. I don't remember a whole lot after that, cause your mind just goes. I just locked myself away and I didn't want to be around anybody. I tried to absorb it the best I could. I never lost anybody that close to me in my life. Somebody that every day of your life, we were brothers."
I could say Kris Kross forever, but I know without Kris, my life, it ain't gonna never be the same. But I just hope our legacy for hip-hop is never forgotten. But I'm gonna do my part though, to make sure Kris' memory live on.
Christopher Smith started to focus on other endeavors. He does not disclose information about his personal life. If he has a family with kids, he never mentions them in interviews or in articles featured about him. He also continues some aspects of his music career going. I recommend you check out the next video about how 50 Cent trolled his opponents. Thank you all for watching, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon.